Now let's take care of permanently deleting records from our database. How is this gonna look? So first of all, we need to use the query builder, okay? And we haven't talked much about the query builder, but don't worry, it's just so easy. Okay, so first of all, we need a route. So we're just gonna say to permanently delete a route, go to the queue route, okay, or whatever. So we'll just say post.queue should just permanently delete that from our database. So we'll go to our web.php and we set up that route. Okay, so I'll just duplicate this, and that's gonna be a get route, and this is gonna be to post/queue. Okay, and obviously we need the ID right here so that we can identify what we are trying to delete. Okay, so next we're gonna have a queue method, and we're gonna have a post.queue. Okay, so that's the name of our route, and we need that parameter right there. Okay, so let's go to our post controller and create that method. So we'll say public function, and it will be queue, and we'll pass in the ID. So how do we find database records that have been soft deleted already? So we'll say post is equal to, we'll say post, and on this post model, we'll get all the database records. So we'll say with trashed, meaning our search that we're trying to search is going to involve even those that are trashed. And right here on our query builder, we have a method called the where method. And this where method is just exactly like our where clause when we are using MySQL. Okay, so the where method right here is going to take in two parameters. So we'll say where the ID, which is the ID field in the database, is equal to the ID that we passed in right here. Okay, so when we pass in these two parameters without an operator, it means we're trying to say where the ID field is equals to this one. Okay, and remember, we said when we're using our query builder, we need to get the results. So we first of all got all the database records, including those that are trashed. Then we found the particular one where the ID is this ID, and we're getting it. So let's die dump and see if we actually get that record. So I'll head over to this route, I'll refresh, and I'll delete, and we discover that we are getting that right there. Okay, so after getting this, the next thing is to actually delete it. Okay, but look at this right here, we're getting a collection. Okay, so we're getting a collection means that it's kind of like an array and a lot of objects in it. But if we change this method to the first right here and we refresh, you discover we are getting an instance of the post class. Okay, so with the instance of post class that we have right there, we can actually delete it using a force delete method right there. Okay, so this force delete method is going to force that database record to be deleted permanently. Okay, so next thing we have to set up our session, and we'll say flash to the session a success message, and this is gonna say you sucks, or it's just gonna say post deleted permanently. Okay, so let's return the user back. So it's a return redirect back. Okay, so that looks great. Let's refresh and see if that post will be deleted. So it was deleted permanently. Okay, so just a review. First, we get the post of ID using the query builder, and our query builder is just a bunch of helpful methods that will help us to query our database tables. So we trashed here is a method from our thread that helps us to actually search that table, including the search results that have been trashed. Okay, so if we use the find method like we've been doing, we won't be able to have those results. Why? Because we aren't receiving results from our database that contain trashed records. But when we use the with trash method, it includes those results. Then we use our query builder, which is a where clause. Right here, it's just going to compile down to a simple where statement, and it's going to find the database record where the ID in the database is equals to the ID that we passed in. And then we get the first result, meaning as soon as we find one, we stop searching. Okay, so then we force delete, which is a method on our thread to permanently delete from our database. Then we set a session and return the user back. So let's see that working again. We delete and it's gone. So that's how it works. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.